Welcome back. The Pew Forum has noted that the Muslim population in Canada is set to triple in size by 2030, making Muslims one of the largest voting bases in the country. The Canadian Muslim voter turnout, however, has been traditionally low. A grassroots organization is hoping to change this in the upcoming federal election. The Canadian Muslim Vote, a national, non-partisan, and non-profit organization, is aiming to increase the participation of Canadian Muslims in the democratic process by encouraging Canadian Muslims to go out and vote on October 19th. Joining me is a member of the Canadian Muslim Vote, Haafid Rahman, to help us learn more about their work. Welcome to the show, Haafid.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So why is this election so important for Muslims?
Muslim voter participation is significantly less than the national average. And this election, perhaps more than any other election in the past, there are a lot of issues impacting Muslims. If Muslims only came out and voted in larger numbers, not only will we be able to get our messages across, but maybe we'll be able to convince politicians to advocate on our behalf.
So tell me a little bit about how Canadian Muslim Vote started, because you guys are very prominent, on media outlets like CBC, Huffington Post.
Well, many of us, a few of us came together with a desire to increase Canadian Muslim voter participation. We realized that Canadian Muslims were simply not voting. So it started off with a couple of us, it grew to four of us, and now we have a large team of people that are simply out there to encourage Muslims to vote. Our official launch was on Good Friday, and we had a coordinated Jummah with over 21 masajids and community centers across the city, where in light of the prophetic example, we wanted to have people hear from the imams, from the leaders of the community, about why it's so important to vote. And since then, we've been running some interesting campaigns and trying to encourage Muslim voters to come out.
Share with us the stories about the momentum and how you're building that, because I know your mission and vision is really about educating and encouraging Muslims to go out and vote. So how are you practically doing that?
We're doing that in several ways. Our website and our social media presence is a huge piece of that. So I encourage people to go to our website, canadianmuslimvote.ca. Go to the website, have a look at the website. There's an entire section on education. And we really want to inform people on how to vote and what the issues are that are impacting the Muslim community. So that's one of the key ways that we're doing that. Another way that we're doing that is through our social media, through Twitter and through Facebook. And yes, we reached out to the parties, and our videos are online on our homepage. Please take an opportunity to visit canadianmuslimvote.ca and have a look at the videos.
So I know you mentioned that you are doing some targeted outreach for key ridings where Muslim voter turnout hasn't been that high. How did you guys, make that decision?
Well, the decision on the ridings that we're focusing on has had one key criteria, and that's, are there a lot of Muslims in that riding? So we're focusing on the ridings that we know have high concentrations of Muslims, and we want to get out there and encourage Muslims to vote. And
is there a way you're tracking some of this voter, the way Muslims are going out and voting, how much of an impact Canadian Muslim Vote has had following the elections?
Absolutely. So our intention is to conduct a poll to seek to understand just how much of an impact we have had. And we're pounding the pavement. We are getting out there. We're going door to door and talking to Muslims. We're picking up the phones and we're having conversations with Muslims one-on-one.
Are you having a targeted approach when you're going door to door, or is it anybody and everybody?
We are having a targeted approach. We're trying to focus on Muslims in key ridings where there are predominantly Muslims, where there's a high concentration of Muslims. So we are going door to door, but we're going door to door to Muslim homes, or homes that we think are Muslim homes.
Was it a conscious effort on the Canadian Muslim Vote's part in terms of encouraging people just to go out and vote as opposed to advocating for a particular party? And the reason I ask this is because, some might argue, given the political climate for Muslims, that it's become so challenging, it might have been easier in some respects to have a credible organization such as yourself actually advocating for, X party. So what's your perspective on that?
The Canadian Muslim Vote is unequivocally a non-partisan group. So we don't care who you go out and vote for. We just want you to get out and vote. We want you to be involved in the Canadian political process, and we want Muslims to understand what the issues are. Well, that's why we have our website up. We want people to go read about the issues and make informed decisions that are important to them.
And you guys have also done surveys that sort of highlight in the past why people haven't voted, right?
Absolutely, and we have an ongoing survey on our website right now asking Muslims about what those key issues that are important to them. And we're finding that the issues that are important to Muslims are the same issues that are important to a lot of other Canadians. You know, we care about foreign policy, we care about education, we care about healthcare. All of those issues are important to Muslims just as they are to others.
And what's the future for the Canadian Muslim vote now that, you know, the elections will soon be over?
Well, we hope there's a long and promising future for the Canadian Muslim vote. We really want to certainly increase the Muslim voter participation rate. Our rate, we think, is somewhere around 30 to 40%, whereas the national average is around 61%. So certainly our immediate goal is to increase Muslim voter turnout. And certainly what we also want to be doing is encouraging participation in the political process. We want Muslims to get involved. We want Muslims to be involved with their political parties. We want Muslims volunteering. We want Muslims reading about the issues and speaking about the issues. Because we firmly believe that if Muslims are more involved in the political sphere, then our politicians will listen to us and hopefully advocate for us more.
That's a very powerful message, and I do hope this last week will be a strong push for the Canadian Muslim vote.
We hope so too. And this day, October 10th and 11th, these are Muslim voting days. We really hope that Muslim voters get out and cast their ballot, cast their vote.
So as we approach the election, how can people get involved?
Aisha, we need people to talk to their friends, their families, their uncles, their aunts, their grandparents, their cousins.
Anybody and everybody.
Anybody and everybody, and encourage them to vote. We'd love for them to visit our website, click on Get Involved, and volunteer. They can volunteer to canvass, they can volunteer to make phone calls. We need people getting out there, pounding the pavements. Like I said, we're a grassroots organizations. We need every single person out there promoting this message to get out and vote.
I will definitely do what I can to spread the word.
Thank you so much, Aisha.
Thank you for coming on the show.
The pleasure's been all mine. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to check out this one.